Well, I only bought these boots because the woman at the store said, "Girl, those boots are made for lying." This is really going to work out for me. This incident all started when my husband and I had to run to the grocery store to pick up some cans of Rotel and some Great Northern beans and some white sheephead corn because he was craving white chicken chili. Now, on our way to the grocery store, we see one of those little parking lot carnivals, you know, that are parked out there, and we decided on our way home we were going to bring back some fun and excitement from our youth. And I'm telling you, we stayed at that carnival and had so much fun until they shut it down. And then when we got home that night, we still needed to put away the canned goods, but I'm telling you, we were Twitter-pated on love and cotton candy and blinking lights and twirly rides. And my husband thought that I needed to improve my pitching arm because I had not knocked down one milk can with the softball at the carnival games, and he said, "Here, pitch those cans to me." So I'm standing across the kitchen and I'm pitching him can after can, and it is all fun and games until my husband gets hurt. Now, I don't know what happened, if our timing got off or if there is a different dynamic between regular size cans and those little cans of white sheephead corn, but I threw that can at him, and instead of catching it, bam! It hit him right above his left eye, and boom, he went down like a sack of potatoes, and blood started gushing out of his head. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I cannot handle the sight of blood, so I turn away, and I grab my phone, though, and I call 911, and I do start hollering his name. And he is not answering in words, but I knew he was still alive because I could hear him moaning. I also knew I had to get pressure on that wound, but there is no way that I can see or touch that blood. So while I'm talking to the 911 operator, I go get one of our giant beach towels and a plastic garbage bag because there is no way that I can risk that blood soaking through that towel. And I am really multitasking and distracted, and that 911 operator asked me what happened, and I don't think a thing about it. I tell him, I hit my husband upside the head with a can of sheephead corn. Now, I have the presence of mind to know exactly what was in that can, but not the presence of mind to add the word accidentally. And apparently, hitting your husband upside the head with a can of sheephead corn sends off the alarm bells at 911. So this operator not only sent out the ambulance, he sent out the police too. Now, I had already told them I had unlocked the front door and that we were in the kitchen, so the police walk in and see me holding a giant beach towel and a plastic bag over my husband's head. And they think I'm trying to suffocate him. Well, I'm telling you, they snatch me up quicker than I can say, keep pressure on the wound. And I've got my hands handcuffed behind me, and I am being briskly shoved out my front door to a waiting police car with no questions asked. But y'all, I was trying to give them lots of answers. So the next thing I know, I am in the jailhouse. And they are taking my jewelry and my shoes and my mugshot. And good gravy Marie, they didn't even let me run a comb through my hair, and it was still wild from the whippet and the zipper rides. And the next thing I know, they're handing me a jumpsuit and giving me a cavity search and a scratchy wool blanket, locking me up behind the jail cell and telling me the judge will not be in until Monday. Now, at this point, I think I had gone into shock because all I could think about was how this was going to mess up my perfect attendance record at the First Baptist Church. Because I was pretty sure incarceration would not be an excused absence from Sunday school. And I'm in this room, and it's kind of the middle of the night, and the main lights are off, but I can tell I'm in a common room, and then these cells are off the main room, and I tell you, I don't even know what to do. I just sit there with my back to the wall, and I pray that my husband is going to be all right, and that nobody or nothing is going to get me in the middle of the night. So now the next morning comes and we all have to get in line and get a tray of eggs with toast and a coffee. And I'm last in line, and I take the only seat that's open, and it is across from a woman who I think looks hard as nails. Now, of course, there's my hair, and then the mascara trails down my face make me look like the wild woman from Borneo, but they do not have mirrors in the jailhouse. So we're sitting there, and I am clutching my styrofoam cup of coffee like a life preserver in a hurricane, and that woman asked, "You gonna eat that?" And y'all, I couldn't even think about food, so I just shake my head no and scooch my tray over towards her, and she takes a big old bite of my eggs like she's staking claim, and with her mouth full she goes, "So what are you in for?" And the first thought in my mind was, what? People really say that? I thought that was only in the movies. And I tell you, I hesitate enough to notice that every eye in the place is on me. And I don't think I could have ever told a lie, but I wondered what was going to happen when I told the truth. Well, I was charged with assault with a deadly weapon, and I was just about to clarify that it was just one of those little cans of sheephead corn when I heard a gasp from everybody in the room. And I didn't know if that was good or bad, so I just quit talking. Who'd you assault? My husband. He go to jail too? No, they took him to the hospital. Well, right then and there, that woman offered me her coffee. Now, I politely declined because my mama had taught me not to drink after other people, but I had sensed a change in the room, and I wondered what was going on. Well, after we had to turn our trays back into the guard, this old, skinny, toothless woman came up to me and she said, "Honey child, let me plait your hair." And I am telling y'all, I was feeling like a hot mess. And you women know, when you're stressed, it is always nice to get your hair done. So I just nodded and sat down at her feet. And while she was finger combing through all of this, she was whispering in my ear, "That one, she couldn't get enough money to pay her speeding tickets. And that one, she's in for hot checks." And this list went on, and I was thinking, well, these really aren't dangerous women. And then she pointed to that woman who had sat across from me from breakfast and said, "She was mama for getting caught with a little too much marijuana." And then she tore a strip off the cuff of her jumpsuit and tied off the end of my braid and said, "But you, trying to kill your husband? That makes you big mama now." I'm telling y'all, with that little piece of information, I thought that I was going to be able to survive my stay in jail. But in the meantime, my husband had regained consciousness, got out of the hospital, called up the judge who he plays golf with, and got me released before noon. But I'm going to tell y'all, I was a little sad about that, because those women were going to teach me how to paint pictures using the color off the candy shells of M&Ms that afternoon. And I was thinking, you know, that might just be a great, fun craft for the next Vacation Bible School.